So back to our base management now. We will take a look. Whoops, not at the memorial. Oh, sorry, Ingrid Johannesson. We will take a look at our medals. So we have the Defender's Medal. I don't really care about the name. We can either have someone never panic, or we can have someone get better healing. Now in the early game, the not panicking will actually be more useful because our people tend to panic a lot. But being healed more in the later game will be more useful because people are less likely to panic, and they have more health and tend to get hurt more, or, you know, deeper injuries, so the healing will be more useful. I think I'm going to kind of hang on to the medal. I'm going to assign it the healing, and we'll go ahead and save that until we level someone up a couple of times. I think that's going to be more useful. Okay, and we're currently researching weapon fragments, so I think that's all we have to do right now. We'll go ahead and scan. Okay, weapon fragments are done. That means we can build a scope. So, yeah, xenobiology is important to advance the plot, but that's not necessarily our top priority right now. We actually want to focus on getting satellites up and making our units more survivable before we're really in a rush to go ahead and advance the plot. So we have meld recombination. We can go ahead with beam weapons if we want, although that's going to take more than a month, which is kind of crazy. UFO power source is primarily for air power. The carapace armor obviously is armor. So which route do we want to take here? They're both going to take a very long time with our current number of scientists. So I think we'll probably go with meld recombination just because it's so much shorter and it's going to unlock stuff we can think about building. So that'll open those options. We can think about building those and then start building mechs and, you know, genetic recombination, get advantages in other ways than the beam weapons and carapace armor. And then hopefully, you know, we'll have some more researchers soon, which will cut those times down a little bit. So we'll go ahead and do the meld recombination. And then we'll probably do beam weapons.
I expected that would be a priority research task, Commander.
Right.
I'll begin allocating resources to the project immediately.
Excavation complete.
Okay, we have more abductions.
So
So now we have to think carefully. We really do actually want more engineers still. Again, you know, we're going to need a lot of engineers in order to be able to build the 2 satellite uplinks that I've been talking about. We're hoping to get by the end of month 2, and we're going to need, you know, I think we need 15 in order to build the 2nd satellite uplink, and we only have 9 right now. So this will get us a lot closer, and it's entirely likely that with our monthly bonus at the end of this month, we'll actually get to that number 15. So ideally we'd like to do that, but we do actually, if we're trying to avoid having countries leave, we want to go look at the panic levels and see what's going to be most advantageous. So there's Egypt, obviously money is always great. Egypt, Germany, and Brazil. So before we take this mission, we're going to go to the satellite room. We're going to say, okay, Egypt, that will keep South Africa fine, which is not a problem. Mexico, North America, that's not a problem. Brazil, that's going to cause Argentina to panic. But that's okay. Argentina will go to 5 panic, but we can prevent them from leaving the council if we launch a satellite over them at the end of the month. So we certainly have that option to prevent them from running away on us. They're not our first choice in country to launch a satellite over, but if it means them not leaving, that may be a choice that we make. And then we focus on, at the end of month 2, getting kind of satellite coverage everywhere, or over half the world anyway. So we'll just make sure I didn't make any mistakes. Oh, Brazil, Germany, and Egypt. I totally misspoke. Brazil, Germany, and Egypt. And we want to go to Egypt if we can. Brazil, Germany, and Egypt. So we'll take a look again. So Germany, yeah, everything's fine there. It wasn't Mexico, it was Germany. Everything's fine in Europe, so we don't have to worry about Germany. Brazil, that's kind of the one we have to worry about. But Egypt is really where we want to go. So we'll let, Brazil is, I think, going to go to 4 panic if we don't go there. Argentina will go to 5. So we can just launch the satellite over Argentina at the end of the month. And everything should ideally be fine. So we're good to go ahead and get our engineers. So that's what we're going to do. First, though, before I do that, for our sniper, we'll just take a look and make sure we know who's available. Yeah, our sniper's available. So for our sniper, we want to go ahead to engineering and build a scope. 1 scope for our sniper. And now we will go ahead, we will go ahead and start the mission. See you after the mission. Okay, so after the mission now, went okay, nobody died, although we did have 3 injuries. It's going to take a little while to recover from that, but we have a new badge, the Urban Combat Badge. Let's take a look at that. Oh, and the International Service Cross. Alright, cool. So we'll take a look at our badges in a second. We got a little bit of stuff here in our mission.
Remember, we will be watching.
So our medals. Let's take a look at this one. What do we have? 5 defense when in cover, or 5 aim against enemies in full cover. Wow. We gotta decide who we want to give that to. It's very tempting to give the 5 aim to our sniper. 5 defense is great too, to be honest. But that's a little harder, it's a little less clear who that should go to. Hitting enemies in full cover can be very challenging. This may be good for an assault who's trying to get into position to flank the enemy. So while they're on their way, they're in cover, they can get +5 defense. It may help them really stay alive. And at the end of the day, our sniper is gonna have pretty good chance to hit most of the time. This will help in the early game. This will kind of help forever. And we are playing Ironman, so I think survivability is going to be more important. So we'll go with the defense and cover. Yes. And we will award that to our unfortunately injured, but gonna be okay, assault. Yes. Oh, and we get a nice medal ceremony. Okay, and the International Service Cross. 2 will per different nationality and squad. Interesting. Versus 2 aim per continent bonus. XCOM has earned. I mean, I feel like this is one that's better saved for later. Different nationality in the squad. Let's take a look, I guess, at our barracks. That's certainly gonna view soldiers. We have a lot of Americans. But, we can probably work around that. None of our current squad are Americans. So if we can... Oh, wait. Oh, no. Our sniper is American. So we can't work those Americans in. But, it's going to be +6, 8 will. That's not hugely useful, really, until we get psi abilities. So I think the aim bonus is going to be better. Even though it's only +2 aim for now, it will increase. So I think that's one where we're again going to kind of wait before we assign that to anyone. Yeah, we'll give it that power, but we're going to wait to award it. And the Defender's Medal, yeah, extra healing, we're also going to wait to assign that. Although we may also give that to our Assault fairly soon. But I don't think I'm quite ready to assign it yet. So beyond that, I think... Oh, panic. Yes, I said that was going to happen after the last mission. Remember, we said it would go up, and that's where we'll put our satellite. So we don't have much to do here until we finish our research, or possibly our satellite. So we're just going to go ahead and scan. That would be the meld recombination. So we unlock a whole bunch of crap. Holy cow. We get a bunch of extra meld. Yay. So we'll take a look at that in a minute. Cybernetics lab to build mechs. We get the genetics lab for genetic mods on our soldiers. We can do the gene mod adaptive wound recovery. This is pretty cool. We could certainly have used that after our last mission with a bunch of people out. They would have been out for 3 days rather than 9. Plus the regeneration per turn. I mean, that's crazy. Depth perception, that's a lot less useful. We're not going to end up with the height advantage very often, at least until we develop the ability to fly. And you know, that's okay. That would be very useful on our heavy, who can now shoot twice per turn as long as he doesn't move. She doesn't move. So that would give +10 aim on the second shot on the same target, which would be quite useful. And here's our mech abilities: kinetic strike, flamethrower. So now for research, I think we definitely want to go for beam weapons. We want to start upgrading to laser weapons, because pretty soon, you know, against sectoids, fine, our current weapons are fine, whatever. But pretty soon, certainly within 34 days, we're going to be facing much more difficult enemies that we will not be able to one-shot with conventional weapons. So the beam weapons will really help us get those kills. Although there's going to be a lot more research behind that, whereas the carapace armor, we could get +2 health on everyone pretty quickly and help keep people alive. That's a very difficult decision. 40 days, not 34. I think we'll go ahead with the beam weapons.
I'm still having a hard time grasping what it is the aliens are hoping to accomplish here.
Yeah.
Are they studying us?
Okay. So
Why
we'll go
abduct
to
humans seemingly
check
at
out our
random?
facility situation.
There must
Now
be
if
a
we do
pattern that we
decide
haven't
to
established
build a
yet.
cybernetics lab, we need 50 for that, and it's going to take up 3 power. We'll need the same deal with the genetics lab. I mean, that's not a huge investment. The thermo generator is going to be. But the major problem is power. That's going to take us to 7, and that's going to prevent us from building... It's going to prevent us from building, a workshop if we need one. So we better look at how many engineers we have. We have 13. I'm pretty certain we need 15 to build a second satellite uplink. So we can go look at the situation room and our current bonuses. So what do we get from Japan? We get an engineer from Japan. If we launch over Argentina, we will get a scientist. So we will still be 1 engineer short, which is maddening. That is upsetting. The issue here, right, in case it's not clear, what I'm wondering about is if we, like, go ahead right now and say, okay, great, I'm going to build a cybernetics lab. That's going to eat up 3 power. We'll have 27 power, and well, I don't know exactly how long the cybernetics lab will take, but it'll take a little while. but it's going to eat up 3 power, and that means we will need the power generator before we can go ahead and build our workshop. So I think I'm going to go check what the date is. What is the date? It is the 25th. I mean, we're only 6 days away from the end of the month. So I think we probably can't afford right now to go ahead and build this cybernetics lab or mech laboratory. So we're going to wait until we kind of deal with all of our satellite needs. That'll probably mean we're building those things in the 3rd month, but it should mean we have a ton of money to do it as long as we can. Okay, so let's take a look here. We'll go ahead and scan since we're not going to do any building yet.
Commander, our satellite is prepped and standing by for launch. We are ready to deploy it on your orders.
We got to be careful here not to let the month roll over. But we're going to delay launching the satellite. Just if we get another mission here, I think we're due for a you know, for an what do you call them? A council mission. A council mission. I think we're due for a council mission. So I'm going to launch this after the council mission, just in case, you know, that causes some panic or whatever. But you know, we could launch it now. We know we're going to put it over Argentina to keep them from leaving. But here we go with our scan. Wow. Okay, I really don't want to push the time too far, so we will now go ahead and launch the satellite over Argentina to prevent them from leaving the council. We're going to try and keep all the countries if we can. So here we go.
Satellite uplink facilities at maximum.
Yeah,
capacity.
no interceptors. We
Additional
will
uplink
wait
required.
until the 1st of the month before building any interceptors. Actually, you know what? No, what we're going to do is just go to the hangar and move an interceptor to, where did I put that? I put that in Brazil, right? No. Oh yeah, 04. I did put that in Argentina. Yes, so South America. Just making sure before I do something that I can't take back. South America. Confirm. Right. And we'll continue scanning.
Incoming transmission.
Oh, here we go. We didn't get a council mission in the 1st month. So this will take a look at our recap for the month, and that will end the video.
Excellent
see you
work,
next month.
Commander. This council is
So we
pleased
let
to
one
see our
UFO go
continued
on
support
purpose,
of this
as you know,
project has
to
been
get more money. That's why we get the B grade.
We
But
hope
don't
that
worry
your
about that. It has
current
no effect on the
successes
game.
only mark
What
the
matters
beginning
is
of
our
an enduring
income, which is
effort
170
to
instead of
eliminate the
100.
extraterrestrial threat.
We get a reward, I guess. I'm not sure exactly what that's for. Why that's 75 more than 170, but whatever. And nobody else is leaving. So next month, hopefully, we'll have a lot more of these countries covered if everything goes well.